What's up guys? In today's vlog, we're at the Illinois Arborist Association in Champaign, Illinois, the International Society of Arborists. This is their summer convention, and I came here to meet Daniel Miraval. And we're gonna learn a bunch of critical information about trees, transplanting trees, girdled roots. I'm not the guy, but I'm gonna show you the guy. So come with me, we gotta be quiet. Shh. Dude, now these are some cameras, bro. Look at that. What is that? Look at that. Oh. So we're here right now shooting a vlog at this arborist convention. It's like people that are like really serious about arboriculture. And I'm running around on YouTube cracking jokes, man. So Daniel Miraval is about to do a presentation. We got 3 cameras set up. We're documenting it professionally and creating a promo video for him. And then also he's going outside to do the root collar excavation. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna learn lots of stuff. If I don't get to put the video here of his presentation, because we got pro cameras, we're actually recording his presentation and making a really good video out of it. I'll put a link in the description below this video so you can watch his presentation. Because this is really important stuff. I made a video called How to Make $1,000 a Day Trimming Trees, and it got like over 200,000 views, and all these people are watching it, and I'm improperly trimming the trees. I'm putting out disinformation, and I wasn't aware, you know? It's not that it's my fault. I'm just talking about the hustle, getting out of the 9-to-5 trap and starting your own small business, but wasn't even aware that, you know, if you improperly prune a tree, you can open it up to an infectious disease. So that's why we're here to learn this information. And then you as well, if you want to learn more, check out the society. Check all this out. There's a lot of information. It's exciting too. So, man, it's just beautiful out here. So you're in your element, man. You're about to go up and talk. What are you going to talk about? What is your presentation going to be about?
Root collar excavation, saving trees in the urban forest.
Root collar excavation, what's that?
Another way to say it's air spading. You take compressed air and you basically blow all the dirt away from the base of the tree and expose the root system, and any roots that aren't going where they're supposed to, if you can, safely for the tree, remove them. Then you kind of try to fix the soil, because the soil in the urban forest is pretty much crap.
That's awesome. Well, that's not awesome, but what he's talking about is awesome. And I just noticed that the umbrella is matching your shirt. He's totally liquid. He's in his element. What'd you say? Those flares?
The flares, the root flares of the tree.
Yeah? So that's supposed to be on every tree?
On every tree, yeah. It's not a very big tree. Usually we think about the big trees, like that one off in the distance over there.
Yeah, way back there.
Yeah, you kind of see how it's got that taper at the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, even small trees are supposed to have that.
Oh.
You rarely see that.
It's kind of loud here because they're doing work, but yeah, that's cool. We just stepped outside and did a little breathing exercise, like an awareness meditation. To see what is all of this.
So this is like geologic material, till stuff that soils would develop in naturally.
Oh.
And this is a soil profile.
Wow.
These are all the different materials. This is one layer of soil that was sectioned. So this is my top. You can can see differences are happening. This is that site that was compacted and remediated, potentially. So there's a nice abrupt boundary right there.
Awesome. Okay, that's all I needed. Thank you. Okay, so he's passing out earplugs. We're outside now because he's doing this root collar excavation with this air spade machine. And supposedly it's, what do you say, 1,200 mile per hour coming out of this. So he's passing out earplugs for everybody. It's going to be very loud. And he's doing a live demonstration. He said this machine's like 30 grand for that. That's cool. I'm gonna fly the drone over and get the overhead shot. It's gonna be cool.
We pulled it up the way that you can see that. Red maples are horrific. I probably take 3 or 4, and sometimes you get a homeowner that wants to talk about it, and they're like, just take that one, take that one. You try to explain to them, those may be the only roots keeping the tree alive.
Do you ever do it, like the correction, over a number of years? Like you might do in a pruning situation that's poor?
I have not done that yet, no. No, it's too expensive, yeah.
Is there some of that wire basket damage?
Absolutely. Right in this particular situation,
yeah.
I don't see any here, no.
Probably.
But we've seen it.
Wire basket. Too deep
Yeah.
planting.
Yeah, we've seen it. Basket away, chisels, pruners.
Yeah, we did. So if this was the healthy root flare, and it was the correct one that you looked at and you air spaded, what would you do? Anything? Just add some?
We'd add some amendments, yeah. So we're going to add biochar from the American Biochar Company, which is carbon-based material. So this is biochar from the American Biochar Company out of Niles, Michigan.
Like compost.
Well, we add compost as well. This is biochar. This is the process they use of burnt charred wood. It's straight carbon, but it's also got freshwater humates built into it.
All right, so this dude is, he's out of his mind. I'm just playing, man. This dude is educating all these people, teaching some amazing stuff. His passion is palpable. Like I said again, if you're interested in learning about what he's doing, check the link in the description below this video and you can learn all about arboriculture. And this dude's making, as far as I'm aware, he's making mad money by going around diagnosing trees and helping customers in a way that most lawn and landscape and tree guys aren't aware of. And it's a service that's in demand.
You have to cut that collar.
Oh, hey look, Dale.
It'll respond the same way as the branch. I have gone back and looked. Where in the beginning when I first started doing it, you'll get epicorm sprouting that'll come out. You'll get 5 roots that'll shoot out of there, just like a branch. And how it is when somebody don't know how to prune crab apples. When you whack it off and you get the 6 sprouts coming off, that can't happen.
Hey, I gave up trying to get some good pictures because there were so many people in that 85mm wouldn't do anything. So you got it all?
I got it all.
Sweet. Hey, good job, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
That was
it.
awesome. So real quick for the vlog, exactly what did you guys do and what did you discover? Can you show me real quick? Just 60 seconds.
We did a root collar excavation and what we found that this tree had girdling roots. You can see the girdling situation. So that's a root that's going perpendicular to the trunk, which it's not supposed to. And that's a condition from when a tree is buried too deep.
Ah.
And it can be compounded or exacerbated, if that's a word we want to use, by bad dirt conditions. They always say dirt's dead. Remember that, dirt is dead, soil's alive, teeming with life, microbes, got worms in it. You know, when you put a shovel in the ground and you pull out a shovel full of soil, there should be 6 to 10 worms in it. Less than 6, you gotta start thinking about soil remediation. No worms in it, you got a real problem.
Daniel, what are these patches and what do they mean and why are they important? I'm just getting this for the vlog. And then, okay.
These patches are representative of certification courses that I've taken. And when you complete them successfully, you get a patch. So this one, the left arm, I've reserved for the TCIA, which is the Tree Care Industry Association, which is more of a safety minded organization. They've been around since the 1920s. So this one on top is a CTSP, which is a Certified Tree Safety Professional. So in that program, it's like an 8-hour class one day and 5 or 6 hours the next day. Plus you got to do all these training modules before, you got to test, you got to set it in, you got to pass that before they even let you go to the class. So it's pretty involved. And you know, you got to have the discipline to see it through. So it teaches you like critical thinking exercises of how to come up with a plan of safety so you keep everybody safe. Because you think about it, in our industry, the green industry as a whole, whether you're doing a riding lawnmower, you know, you're on a Skag or whatever you're using, your chainsaw, you're up in a tree, it really doesn't matter. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. There's a lot of horror stories, and nothing's a problem until it becomes a problem. So this kind of forces you to make a plan, talk it out. You become the liaison in your company for safety, and you learn how to do that. The next, the right arm is reserved for the International Society of Arboriculture. So the top one is a Certified Arborist patch. So to even become a Certified Arborist, you've got to meet some criteria. The first thing is you've got to have 3 years of documentable experience working around trees. So that can mean a lot of things, but you've got to be able to document it. You can't just write, you got to fill all this paperwork out and submit it and get accepted. And you can't just say, oh, I did this, that, and the other. They will call, they will check. And then the other patch below it is a member. So you don't have to be a member of the International Society of Arboriculture to maintain your certification, but it's probably a good idea that you do because it's a lot less expensive to take all the classes. So that's what the patches are. And this one's one of my favorite. This is an organization called Open Lands, and I'm a tree keeper. I'm tree keeper 1411, and it is a grassroots organization that since 1992, I believe, has been out saving trees, and it was actually the brainchild of a couple of people, including Mayor Koch from way back in the day. He was big on wanting to plant trees in Chicago, and he knew he needed kind of a citizen army. So you could take this tree keeper course, and it's open to anybody. It's only like $80, I think, and you get a book, and it teaches a very basic fundamental foundation of planting, pruning, and proper mulching. And then of course the Illinois Arborists Association, which is the whole reason that I'm here. So the ISA, which is the International Society of Arboriculture, we have subchapters. So you know, every state has a subchapter. My parent original chapter was the Mid-Atlantic chapter. That's where I got started. And in the Mid-Atlantic, we have multiple states, Virginia, West Virginia, and Maryland are represented in that chapter. In Illinois, it's only Illinois. I know out west they have the Rocky Mountain chapter. So it's very cool stuff. And this is really my favorite. I don't know if it's the right way or not, but that's where it all started. The MSU Cooperative Extension Master Gardener Program.
Wow, Michigan State University?
Yeah, Cooperative Extension Unit.
That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna do an actual, a nice formal interview. We got these cool cameras set up. I'll put the link in the description below to the interview. Look at this cool mic. And so that's it.
Father's very abusive. I was abused my whole life, you know what I mean? And that's how I sort of took life. It was like abusing me, right? And then I started, after the divorce, it started teaching me and training me how to engage in life and be an active, engaging member where I can communicate, express my ideas, and not get so frustrated and so bogged down that I go inward and then I explode, you know?
Right.
So after
Do you think any of that adversity helped with this creativity? Were you always creative?
I was always creative because we didn't do a lot as kids, so you had to be very imaginative, you know, being in a room or being around your neighborhood.
Sure.
You know, you had to figure out how to play and how to come up with games and things like that. So that helped. But what helped me sort of get over the hump was actually being alone and going through a lot of worldly possessions being taken and my identity being wrapped in that. Because when I finally started making money, it was sort of a new thing to me. You know, I was a young guy, I was making 80 grand a year, working FedEx ground, and you know, I had a nice house. I was buying cars. Yeah, it was easy, you know. And when I lost it all, my identity sort of was lost too, and I sort of like fell apart, you know. And I was all alone. I was in the house all by myself, and the electricity got cut off and everything. And I'm trying to figure out how people turn electricity back on, because I was naive, you know. I finally figured it out. So I was living in the house. Of course, that was foreclosed. All my neighbors saw all my cars get repossessed. I had a nice Lexus and everything. And I remember going in the basement, and I had this toolbox. And I saw the strap next to the toolbox. I said, let me put the strap on the toolbox. Let me start going door to door, knocking on doors, see if I can do some kind of landscaping or some kind of cutting bushes or doing anything, right? And that was like the beginning of my development, my redevelopment, right? And sort of teaching me how to be a man apart from worldly possessions, apart from an outward exterior, identity, and getting an inward identity. And once I started doing door-to-door stuff, I became the top salesman. They actually knew my name in California because we had locations in different states. And I was the top salesman out of all the states, And it was like something that I couldn't believe happened. But I was a student. I became a student again. And I was learning life all over. And it seemed like for the first time. Because when my sales teachers were starting to teach me, I was thinking like, okay, if I absorb everything they teach me and just be humble and just absorb it and take it in as truth, then I can experience the truth that they're living. Because they were able to knock on doors, get in people's doors, get sales, make $2,000 or $3,000 a week. They was making really good money. So I started doing it, and I couldn't believe it actually was happening for me. So once that happened, that's when everything started changing for me. And I went into my own business. I had a cleaning company. I started a cleaning company. I did that for about 5 years, and it sort of ran its course. And I was, again, my identity was wrapped into this business because it failed, and I thought it was gonna go and be a big business, and I was getting deeper and deeper into something I didn't like, and I was like, what should I do? Should I develop it more? Should I get a loan? I didn't know what to do, right? Because I was a first generation entrepreneur, right? And ended up failing, and that was the first time I cried like a baby. I cried like a baby, and this when I was married, my second marriage, right? And my wife just let me lay on her, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I said, what am I gonna do now? My education didn't go far. What can I do now? So I ended up getting a job as a limousine driver. And I was driving all these rich people, and all these celebrities and stuff like that, going backstage with them. And I was like, wow, this is really crazy. Like, my life is going like different ways I never thought it would go. And then finally, I started this company, which is Digital Dream Studios. And it started developing into something that I was like, wow, you can make a living out of this. Like, I started getting a little bit more involved, a little deeper involved, and I started getting contracts with CNN, Travel Channel, Dr. Phil. I was doing Dr. Phil stuff here because he didn't fly out people to different states. He'll use different production companies here and just contract them out. So I was doing that stuff, and then I did some drone work for some hospitals, and they asked me, did I want to, did I ever thought about working at Channel 7 News, ABC Channel 7 in Detroit? And I said, oh, I never really thought about it, but sure. So I did an application. They told me to go shoot a package, shot a package, and they hired me. So that's my story.
Why would you leave the D to come here and do a story about me when you got all that? We can't follow that.
Yeah, dude, this dude's very successful, man. He owns a media production company. He's the editor at Channel 7 News.
Evolution.
Right. The guy's awesome.
And the story of everybody's evolution.
Quentin Howell, Digital Dream Studio. Look it up on YouTube, Digital Dreams 321. I'll put a link in the description below. One of my best friends right there.